Okay,
Okay, we're just gonna have to go. Morning.
all right.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everybody. Okay, hopefully, okay, there we go. We are going to be in a couple different places, so we're going to be doing this. Okay,
Yes, we
we've
have
got
lots of different
hers. We
views.
just we're limited today. I don't know. Well, welcome. I'm Victoria,
I'm Leandra.
and we are here for. You know what I was deciding? Instead of we're not here on an hour, so I was saying earlier, I go our happy half hour.
Yeah, we could.
Because we do
But,
try to
sometimes
just do
we
30
talk
minutes,
extra,
but yeah,
but,
we might. So you can call it a healthy happy hour, and that all depends. We try to limit it about 30 minutes, but if people get on and they want to talk to us, we are more than happy to stay on and chat. We can bring you on live. We have Zoom. You can log into our Zoom. We've got Leandra over here. So we're all over the place.
Exactly.
Today, you can kind of see the sign up there. We are at Fit Body Boot Camp. So this is my new location. This is where I am also training at for it's a brand new location. It's here off of North Carefree and Powers. And we'll just talk a little bit more about it later. I did do on my live this morning, I went and did a walkthrough. So if you're interested in checking it out, or you want to stop by and come by and check it out. Next time, I was telling Jason, one of the owners, maybe we'll invite some people over and you can just kind of come in and, kind of just check it out. It is a pretty big facility.
Yeah, it's really
It's
nice.
big, right?
So it's really nice. Yeah.
So it is a lot of fun. Yeah, look at
The
that.
whole
It's
big
huge.
gym. They get to do all kinds of classes.
We do classes here,
Awesome.
and at the end of our little thing, I'll tell you a little bit about what's going on and what we're doing. But today we're here to talk to you more about springing forward for wellness and vitality.
Yes.
We are continuing
last month.
We're
Yeah.
continuing our little spring forward.
Yes, we want to be summer ready.
Yeah.
And we're gonna just discuss some wellness made easy tricks and enhancing what we were talking about last month for sure.
Exactly.
So, and just to kind of go back, I'm Leandra with Peak Wellness for Life and Peak Spa for Wellness. I'm a medical massage therapist, nutritionist, and also a wellness advocate. So I love to help people all things wellness. And I'm also in my yoga certification course, which I teach half of a class once a week with Victoria of yoga. And it's so wonderful. It's a great experience. I really appreciate that. So you guys, if you're in the area, you should definitely come. We'll elaborate on those a little bit more.
Yeah, we'll tell you more about where we're at and what we do and where we
Yeah.
do it at. So
Yes.
I am Victoria, and I am with Her Strength Coaching. That is my business that I do, also health coaching, nutrition coaching. I do personal training, a fitness training. I have a women's group out in Falcon. Again, we'll tell you a little bit more about that. And now I am also a coach here at Fit Body Boot Camp. So that allows me to extend and my reach to more people, and including men and women, not only just women, but men now too. You are welcome here. We don't have a lot of guys because I think they believe this is like for women. It's not. It's for everybody. Even Jeff showed up yesterday.
Well, it's more on the, like Victoria explained it before, the more the women's health and fitness is more on that personal one-on-one,
Yeah.
and then some of your other classes.
Yeah.
are
So
more
we have
geared
a,
towards that.
yeah, it's a little
But
bit
yeah,
different.
you have
So.
a variety of services for everybody.
For everybody. So anyway, so let's talk about a little bit about some things that you can do to actually help you to just feel better, look better, and perform better. So starting with, you want to talk about elevating your mood,
Sure.
how, what we're doing to elevate your mood.
So just because the days are getting longer, and it doesn't mean that we have to run on fumes. So we don't want to have to like extend all of our energy with the extension of the hours of the day. We still want to, make sure that we're taking care of ourselves and not running on fumes. So incorporating things into our daily routine, we want to reduce our stress and increase our happiness and relaxation. Is also important, and really just thinking positive things. I posted a thing on Facebook yesterday, and this doctor was talking about happiness, and she was saying, look in the mirror, give yourself a high five, give yourself eye contact, don't say anything, and just do it every day.
Self-talk is something that's really important because
affirmation, the positive, that positive reinforcement to start your day off on a good foot. And that helps to decrease your stress. And so we can definitely demonstrate also some breathing technique, which is a great way to de-stress. And we can do that now.
We
Yeah.
can do that.
Okay, great.
So let you go into some deep breaths.
Okay, so
And you're
first,
having a
if
tough
everybody
day.
wants to go ahead and just relax, and hopefully you're in a relatively quiet and relaxing. If you're driving, please don't do this. Well,
You can do it,
can
just
keep
don't
your
close your eyes.
open, yes, and just
Don't
do
close
it
your
so where you're not getting distracted. But breathing can happen anywhere. So if you want to close your eyes, you can uncross your legs, clench your jaw, just try to relax your body. You can put your hands on your knees, or even your right hand can go on your belly and your left hand can go on your chest. And this is a really great way to be able to have the awareness of where your breath is going and coming. So first, you're just going to breathe in normally through your nose and feel the coolness of your breath, and expanding the belly like a big balloon, pushing the ribs out and the diaphragm down. And on the exhale, you can either open your mouth or keep your mouth closed and let all the air come out nice and gently. Belly button towards the spine, the ribs come closed, and the diaphragm is now moving up. So that's on the exhale. And try to make your exhales even longer than your inhales. And the exhales really help to encourage the parasympathetic nervous system. And now on the next exhale, you're going to expand the belly in through the nose. Big diaphragmatic breath where the diaphragm pushes down, belly expands, ribs expand, chest expands at the end. Hold the breath just a touch at the top and exhale gently from the top all the way down as if you're emptying a cup. And push the belly button towards the spine, allowing the diaphragm to move upward, pressing all the air out. And inhale gently, expanding the belly, expanding the chest, holding it at the top for just a second, and gently exhaling all the air out from the chest to the belly, and allowing all the air to be exhaled. And breathe normally. And just feel, get the sensation of how you're feeling, how your breath is coming in and out. Are you breathing more easily? Does it come more naturally? Remember, the belly moving in the breath is a good thing. Don't just keep it in the chest. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes and come back.
And that's all you have to do.
Yes.
So simple breathing. If you start feeling stressed, if you're feeling like a lot of tension coming up, that's just a really good way to release that tension, to kind of bring yourself back to awareness of where you're at so that you can have a good day. Especially, again, if you're going throughout the day and then all of a sudden you have these moments where you just want to feel like snapping, go sit in a quiet place and then begin and then start over again.
Diaphragmatic breathing is
Yep.
that's the key. It's really getting that
And
diaphragm moving, expanding, and
I think people
retracting.
forget how to breathe. We do that. So when you start feeling that, like you're breathing shallow, you really want to slow it down. So that is one really good way of doing that. So again, positive self-talk, what we feed our brains is how we're going to start reacting and acting. So anyways,
I like that.
welcome. Hello, ladies and gentlemen on there. So another thing we can do is vitamin D.
Yes.
So let's move on to vitamin D. So we
Wonderful.
want to boost our vitamin D. We have more sun in the winter time. A lot of times it's really important to take a vitamin D supplement. That's really encouraged. I mean, a lot of times just get your vitamin D checked because that's going to affect your moods, your hormones, your energy levels. And we want to make sure that, really your sun exposure only needs to be about 10 to 30 minutes a day. 10 to 20 minutes is usually kind of a good fine time for it. So maybe in the morning, I like to actually get my coffee when I'm at home in the morning and go sit outside in the warm air before it gets too warm, but you're getting that sun exposure. Just sit out there. I kind of do either my devotions or just, looking at my calendar, planning my day. But you want to do that because that's really going to help with your bone, your bone development, bone health. Ladies, as we're getting older, we need to be a little bit more cognizant of and aware of our bone density. So there's a lot of different things that we can do on that. But you just got to, depending on your skin tone, you want to just be cautious. If you're lighter skin, you probably have to be cautious about how much, the direct sun exposure. But a lot of problems that people have is they put too much sunscreen on and they're not getting the full sun exposure. So being without sunscreen for, maybe 10 minutes, going outside, doing some, for a quick walk, getting that sun exposure is going to help with your body to produce your vitamin D.
Yeah, and then the prolonged sun exposure is when you want that sunscreen.
Yeah, if you're going to be
The-
out for,
yeah,
longer
non-chemical
than
stuff,
30
definitely.
minutes, just watch what you're putting on your skin. So,
Yeah.
the next thing you want to do is,
So there's nutrition and hydration. And, we definitely need to be hydrated coming into the warmer season. And as you start drinking water or more hydration items, then your body is going to want it. So
yeah,
then you're gonna want to drink more, and that's in your body. And don't just chug down
hydrate,
water, because
hydrate.
if you chug down water, then you're gonna have to use the bathroom more
Yeah.
quickly. But if you can sip on water regularly, half your body weight in ounces generally. I
Yeah.
like to recommend a little bit more than that in this higher
Depending on,
elevation.
yeah, with us in
Yeah,
Colorado, we have to do a
activities
lot more
that
your
you're
activity
in.
levels. If you're
Right.
working out, when you work out, don't include that. You don't include the water that you're drinking during a workout. That's not included. That's just what your body needs because you're
You're
sweating
replenishing at
and you're
that point.
replenishing
Yeah,
all
just
that.
what you're losing at that point.
Yeah.
Sure.
So,
So yeah, and then there's all kinds of and have a good balance to maintain your fluid intake. So like we were saying, and nourish your body. So immune boosting foods and recipes for the season incorporate fresh seasonal produce like asparagus, strawberries, leafy greens. And there is a great website that I love. It's called eatingwell.com, and it has all kinds of wonderful recipes and categories of recipes. So you can get like the Mediterranean diet or eat for blood sugar, good blood sugar recipes,
So,
eat
yeah.
for heart healthy. And so if you're not sure, what to look at out there and just scrolling through Pinterest for different recipes, that's a really great website that I like to recommend to
Yeah.
people. And then MyFitnessPal is also a really great free app if you want to track stuff. Now, there's probably other things that
There's
you
some other
recommend
ones.
too.
Yeah, there's a new one that I'm using and it's really kind of cool. It's called Macro Factor. Macro Factor, you do have to pay for that, but it's really not that expensive. $71 a year. But what it does, and I'm learning more about it because I just recently downloaded it, but it actually will adapt to to your situation. So whatever your goal is, like MyFitnessPal is going to give you here's your recommended calories in your macros, right?
Yeah.
This actually will watch how you're doing things, so your workouts and everything, and it will adjust to your goals and it will adjust to the changes in as you progress. So instead of going, okay, you're going to stay at this macro level for all this time, it's going to adjust as you progress so if you're trying to lose weight, you have to adjust it. So like as you're losing weight, your macros should be changing. And so what this does is you're tracking your foods and it's actually going to adjust to your weight loss because you're going to be
Nice.
checking in, and it also does check-ins. So it'll have you do a weekly check-in on your weight and on everything else, and then it's going to adjust your macros based off of what your goal is. So it's super cool. It's called Macros First. Check that one out. I'm just getting started on that one, but you want to track everything. So I always say, if you bite it, you write it. Everything that goes in your mouth, because a lot of times
Or
people
drink it.
people underestimate their calories or overestimate because what they're doing is they're snacking and they're not writing that down. So
Right.
what you want to do is you want to plan out your meals, right? So even track prior. One of the great ways of doing it is look at plan your day and your meals for the day. Plan your snacks, put them in small little, snack bags. Know though that you can have that. And that way you're not just grabbing a handful every so often. If you know your serving size is a quarter cup of nuts, right? Well, then even if you don't eat all those nuts in one serving, you just have to finish that bag at some point during the day. Now you know exactly how much you've had. If you, it is really, really important to track if you have a goal of weight loss or putting on muscle. A lot of people don't like it, but unfortunately, you have to know what you're putting into your body so that you can actually make the gains or losses that you're looking for. So,
Exactly.
macro factor is a really good one.
Yeah, or the MyFitnessPal if you're looking for
Yeah, if
something
you're
that's
looking for
just more
something basic,
basic
yeah,
and really just trying to kind of get things
gauge it.
off to a good foot. And with that, you don't have to just go to these apps and think like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go do it, but get a hold of us.
Yeah,
You know,
we can help you figure out
Carol's
where you're
great
at.
at this app. She can help you with a lot of details in that matter. I can certainly help you, it's
Yeah.
whoever, however it fits you. So with that, you can schedule with either of us for
For yeah.
consults. We do free complimentary
Yeah,
wellness consults.
I offer
So,
a free metabolic assessment
right.
where it'll help break down where you're at, where you want to be, and then where you can start from. So it's just a starting point. And if you want to go into more in-depth health coaching, nutrition coaching, we can help you work and through that plan too. Those are, additions. But initially, first off, I like people to at least know generally where you're at, and kind of figure it out. Start with protein first. If you don't like tracking, track your protein. Protein should be priority. I always say just prioritize your protein. Try to hit 100 grams of protein a day because that is actually the baseline. Everybody should at least be at 100 grams of protein a day. Once you get to that, slowly, because you'll be surprised, just about everybody is under eating protein. And so that's where, that's a good starting
That's why
point.
we want to snack
And
so
you
much
want,
because we're not getting
you're not getting
satiated
enough
with enough
protein.
protein
Yeah.
or
Eat
enough
more
healthy
protein.
carbs and not the empty carbs and
Yeah,
empty
or you're
calories
always
that we
hungry.
tend
If
to
you're eating
consume.
all the
Yeah,
simple carbs, you're just gonna be hungry all the time.
right.
So
So
adding the protein and the carbs and then your fiber,
the good fat.
those are actually the good
Those are
fats. Those
really
are gonna keep
satiating.
you full
But if you're
longer.
gonna
So,
do more good fats, then be careful with the carbs.
yeah,
So
so you wanna,
that's where we
that's
come
where you
in.
have to
Okay, that's
adjust.
where we come in and we're gonna help you with those
Yep.
things. So you can go to calendly.com/Peak for life/30 minutes. And that's where you can schedule for a free 30-minute online consult with me. Or I have a massagebook.com website and I'm at the Peak Spa and Wellness. So you can just search that and I'd be happy to, you can look at any of my services there.
Or and for me, you can go to herstrengthcoaching.com. That's my website. You can actually go on there and schedule a consult, or you can find me on Secrets to Living Fit, Field, and Fabulous if you are in my Facebook group, or you can ask, request to be input there. That's where you can reach out to me, or you can just message me on Facebook, and you can always find me there. Yeah, and so,
My phone number's online too.
yeah, I'm available
Definitely.
on there too.
Get a hold of
Um,
me.
and I
And,
also have a free community called Evolve Her Strength community, which I'll tell you a little bit about what we're doing coming up next
All
week.
right,
We're
cool.
starting a 2-week challenge soon.
So getting
So-
back to some of the hydration
So
stuff.
talked
make
about
sure that
hydration.
We want to make sure that you guys are getting all the tips to how to stay hydrated, right?
Yeah. So we want to
drink water regularly, like we said, sip on it throughout the day.
start drinking in the morning. Start
Hydrating
early.
foods, yes, hydrating foods. It's, you know what, before you even get a cup of coffee, if you're a coffee drinker, a tea drinker, get a cup of water.
Yeah.
And
Add
if you
some
can,
lemon in it, maybe.
you can do lemon, and if you can do room temperature water. I know some people are like, no, it has to be completely frozen. And then, it's fine. If that's the way you have to drink your water, do it. At least you're getting the hydration.
Yeah.
But room temperature water helps your body to just, regulate. It doesn't have to warm it up. It doesn't have to use energy to warm up that water. So you can get going. Either way. So
Yeah.
hydrating foods, watermelon, oranges, cucumbers.
Think about the
Carry-
things that are coming into
Yeah,
season.
definitely.
What are we going to have more of?
Yes. Carry a water bottle with you at all times. Always have something with you. Yeah, I got mine too. And infused water bottles, herbal teas. So a lot of people just don't like waters. So if you add lemon or lemon oil, cucumbers, blueberries, there's all kind of
Hydrating,
things.
yeah. Like we even have here, we have something that's like a hydration. It's like
Nice.
lemon, and I just add that in there. It's got a little bit of caffeine, so it kind of gives me a little pick me up too,
Mhm.
but it's hydrating and caffeinated, so
Yeah.
it gives you the best of both worlds.
Yeah, and when we did talk about some of the herbal remedies in the last episode, so you could definitely go back and look at that.
Mhm.
Um, avoid the dehydrating drinks. So avoid
Lot of
caffeine,
lot of
avoid
caffeine. Yeah.
alcohol.
If you do have those, you always want to add an
Yeah,
additional
just
glass. I
add
always say
an
additional glass of
with
water.
every cup of you
Yeah.
of those that
So
you
like
have.
when I go out and if we go out drinking, every time I always order water first and then I'll order a drink, and then I'll make sure I drink that water while I'm
Yeah.
drinking alcohol because you want to make sure that will also avoid that hangover. The reason people get hangovers is because they're dehydrated.
Yeah, and the
And
caffeine
so the
issue is,
caffeine,
my mom used to
you
drink
get,
like she would get up to probably 2 pots a day when she was working full time. She worked night shift and she was a single mom with me.
it
So
was on
oh
probably
man, she just
caffeine.
drank so much caffeine and she would have migraines, she's had some health problems, she would always have stomach aches. Yeah, and so it was just, but finally she was able to like cut down and it did really help. And I know for me, when I finally got stopped drinking coffee,
Yeah.
it helped
And
me.
get, and
It's everybody too.
yeah, everybody's
Just be
different.
careful with the amount that you drink.
Yeah,
Don't
caffeine
just
is
drink
not
coffee.
caffeine is not bad for you. It's what you're putting into the
Yeah,
coffee
drink good
that
stuff.
is what's the harmful.
Like
You're adding in the
organic or
sugars, you're adding
yeah,
in all this stuff. There's
no
mushroom
artificial stuff.
coffees.
Oh, mushroom coffees are great.
Yeah, there's some really good ones that we even have one here that's like he's got back there. I don't even know what it is,
Nice.
but it's a mushroom coffee and it's actually really good.
And you can add the electrolytes. So if you
Yeah.
don't go buy electrolyte drinks, you can just do a pinch of sea salt in your cup of water just once a
If you're
day
okay with
to
that.
get
Yeah.
that little extra electrolytes.
Yeah, there's elements, another good one. And I always tell people because it's a lot of salt, but it tastes good. And
Mhm.
I usually like even in this, I'll put like half a pack because I don't like it so strong.
Mhm.
But you can just add a little bit of that. There's a lot
Yeah.
of different, electrolyte kinds of additives that you can put into your drinks to just
doTERRA has a
actually
really
make
good
you. Yeah,
one.
they have some. I have some with Advocare, with Make Wellness. We have a really good grapefruit one. So there's a lot of different ones you can try, find something
Liquid
that you
IV,
like.
I love Liquid IV. You can get
Some people
big
like,
bag
yeah, they use
from
that.
Costco.
Costco has it. All
Yeah.
right, so moving on, we have that. Okay, we already talked about all that. The
Well, this
hydrating
is
drinks
just
and the
like going
electrolytes.
into more
Yeah.
detail about like
So
really just focusing
yeah,
on
well,
the
yeah.
specifics.
So we
Oh,
talked
I was
about no, I was
focusing.
talking here. Yeah.
Oh,
We
sorry.
already we were we were on the next one. So number 4, set seasonal goals. So what you want to do is we're getting into the middle of the year. A lot of people do vision boards at the beginning of the year, but guess what? In the middle of the year, now we're going into the summer months. You can revisit those and
Mhm.
reset your vision. So when you do a vision board, right? Leave space. Don't fill it all up at the beginning of the year because you might change things. So, you mark stuff, you can cross it out or however you want to as you meet those goals and then add to it. So think about summertime's coming. So what is it? What are some personal goals? What are some places you might want to visit? Maybe you have, you want to go camping more, maybe you want to go hiking more, but you didn't think about that at the beginning of the year. But now, the warmer time is coming and you're thinking of what do you want to do outside? What do you want to
I love
do
that.
for vacations?
I love that, just
So
putting like the camping specifically
yeah,
on there.
here, because you don't really
I
always
wanna
think
do
about
that.
that at the beginning.
Yes,
And it's like
yes.
you might, but new stuff comes up, right?
Mhm.
New goals you think of. So start doing that and then start tracking, maybe if you didn't start tracking at the beginning of the year, now's another great time to begin. Take a look. Take a look. What I always tell people is around now is where people started falling off of all their New Year's resolutions, which I don't like calling. I call them resets.
Yeah.
Just start taking a look at where you are based off of where you wanted to be at the beginning of the year, the things you wanted to accomplish, kind of revisit that and go, okay, well, what have I done to actually, what are the steps I've taken? Did I take any steps? Maybe you didn't even start. So it's okay. Start now. Start now and then go, okay, well, you know what? That didn't go so well because these other things, because as we know, as moms, um, things just kind of it's just like a day. You have this perfect day planned and then stuff
Oh
happens
my gosh.
with your kids
All the time.
today. She had that
This
day
morning was
today.
a bit of a
And your
run.
kids are just going to completely throw a wrench in everything.
Yeah.
And so remember, it's okay to revisit what you planned on, and don't just chuck it out and go, well, that didn't work. There goes that year. I'll start
Get
next
back
year.
on track.
Get back on track.
Yeah.
Just go, okay, what okay, now let's think about what can I do? Maybe you set too big of a goal or too big of an account, something saying you want to go to the gym 5 days a week, but you only been making it 2 days. Fine. Go back to, you know what? I've been doing good with 2 days. Maybe I'll add a third day. So
Yeah,
just kind of just
realistic
don't,
goals.
yeah, realistic goals. Don't beat yourself up because things aren't exactly where you wanted them to be, because that is just life. And then physical activity.
Well, the wellness journal,
Oh,
let's
yeah,
keep
you
doing
could, yeah,
that.
same thing. You could
Yeah,
start,
okay, what
with
you're
what I was
tracking,
saying, yes,
okay.
the tracking, just
And
kind of
then,
start
yeah,
if you didn't
building the
do that.
habits, okay,
Just
perfect.
slowly start figuring out, write down,
Yeah,
look at what you said you wanted to do, look at what you're doing, and then go back and reset those.
right,
And
okay.
all right, so physical
So
activity.
yes, physical activity. I know
The
we're
weather
both
is supposed
kind
to
of
be good.
on that, yes. Oh my gosh, the pleasant
It was good
weather,
last
yes.
week.
It
This week's not
was,
so bad.
yesterday was kind of chilly, but we were still outside.
Yeah, Saturday's
And
not gonna be so great, so
no, it's
rethink,
supposed to get
rethink Saturday if you've already had
but
that.
oh my gosh,
Irregardless.
regardless. I just saw something about that word the other day. Okay, so we definitely want to get out, even if the weather's getting a little bit cool still, getting out, get
Part of the
acclimated.
days are still.
It was so hot the other day and we need to like get acclimate ourselves to this weather, that's coming. It's
Mhm.
gonna be getting so hot. So getting out, doing some physical activity.
Maybe just
So my
walking.
boys went and we went and played pickleball. So we did that twice and that was super fun. And that
Oh,
I think
fun.
is
I
gonna
still
be
haven't played
something
it.
that we're gonna keep doing. And that really helps boost your mood and your energy levels. And actually the first day we went pickleballing,
Pickleball.
my middle son was not in the greatest mood. And so we're all like, come on, Devin, come on, we're gonna go. Come on, come on, come on. Just, just like keep
Trying to encourage.
berating him, like, let's go, let's go. So we finally like, okay, fine. So, but he had such a good time and we all had a great time and it just really helped the
Yeah.
whole mood of the
Sometimes
whole
that's
family.
just it. Like a lot of times I had my kids used to be like that too. They didn't want to go somewhere and then they got there and then they had a blast. So
Yeah.
sometimes, don't just go by, if your kid, they don't want to get out and just start doing it, because you never know what they're going to discover, what they're going to enjoy. Just start going for walks,
Yeah. What's your
start
favorite
discovering new
way
paths and
to do
new,
activity?
yeah, new trails to
I
go
know one
on.
of my kids, they love to do the VR, but that's like a good winter thing if you're
Yeah.
stuck inside. But
Yeah, let's pull our kids and off the
yeah, get
video games and get
outside.
them outside playing
Right. The
and
trampoline is
enjoying.
a great thing for right now.
Yeah, start taking some classes, like I said, here at Fit Body Boot Camp, we do have a special going on. I'll just throw that in there because we're talking about physical activity.
Yes.
We have a special going on right now. We don't know how long it's going to last. It was our grand opening special, and he's decided to extend it for a little bit longer. But again, I don't know how long it's going to last. It is 4 weeks for $40. So you can come out, do unlimited 30-minute sessions. We have classes 6 days a week. We have morning classes, we have evening classes. You can come hang out with me again. And I still have my Falcon classes. Those are right now $60 a month. And those are Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but I only have 5 a.m. classes. Okay.
Mhm.
So you have options here. You can you come out and have more, if you want to do evening classes, they have evening classes. So that might be better for you. That's what I know a lot of people always wanted me to do. Well, now I'm doing them, but I'm doing them here. And so this is where you're going to have to come and find me. So, they do offer those classes a morning at, say, starting at 5. We have 5, 6, 6:45, and then we have a 9 o'clock in the morning. And then we also have Saturday classes, which I do not offer, but I work here in the morning. And that's 8 and 9 o'clock. And we may be shifting those times. So those are kind of seasonal. We're kind of getting an idea of what classes people want.
Yeah.
So we might be moving them a little bit early, mainly because summertime a lot of parents are saying their kids have, sports and Saturdays. So we want to get you in and out and on with your day. So you have that. So, if you go to classes at other places, great, wonderful, but start taking advantage of that. Some of the things, like we do go to Villa, and I'm only keeping my Villa through the summer because I want to go to the gym. I want to go to the swimming pool.
Yeah.
So go to the pool, get some exercise in. Now's a great time to get out into the pools, go to the hot springs, find fun things to do, hiking trails. I just downloaded, I accidentally paid for the year, but that's okay. I'm going to use it. All Trails. I
Oh,
I was like doing okay, I do that all the time.
yeah,
How
I
many
have
of
the
you
All Trails
actually
app. Yeah.
download the trial and then you forget.
Oh, yeah.
I do that all the
Yeah.
time. So I did that, and but it was like $35 for the year. So I
Sure.
really want to discover new trails, to go mountain biking in, to go walking, to, we're gonna go on
I
the
have another friend
motorcycle
who's
more.
gonna be starting up her hiking group again, so
Oh,
I should invite you to that,
yeah,
and
that would
then
be
we should definitely do some hiking.
yeah, because I know we want to start getting out on the motorcycle now.
Ooh.
I missed it last weekend. He went and rove around the block
Our
practically.
neighbor was
He was like, "Oh."
planning on doing a big trip or in the mountains or something, so
Yeah, we'll be
he's
taking
gotta
our trips
postpone
this
it
time,
because
so
of the
we're excited.
weather coming
I
in.
know, we're getting
But
antsy for
I'm
this,
super
so
excited, like Victoria was saying, her 5 a.m. classes Wednesdays.
Wednesdays is when
I
she
teach half of the class as yoga class, and like I said, it's been a really great experience for me. I am learning how to be more of an instructor.
yeah, she's doing a
And
great job. It's a
I
lot of fun, a great way for us to stretch.
it's just a $10 drop in for Victoria, and I just, come out and check it out.
Yeah.
If I am trying to work out some ways to have some classes online, just, either live or over Zoom. If you have an interest in that, let me know. I should have some stuff posted on that here pretty soon too. So
Yeah, so on Wednesday, you can join us over at Flow State Jiu Jitsu.